is something very powerful. The truth that we are all one. All over the world, people from marginalized communities have shown us what it means to live in bold, beautiful color. They persevered through challenges, not because of anything they've done, but simply because of who they are, and still they shine. So this month, let's cast off old ideas of separation and step into something greater. Unity, diversity, and the joy of being fully ourselves. Let's celebrate the divine in each other, and let's remember we are one family, one love, one light. There is a recommended book every month, and this is The Awakened Brain, and it's by Dr. Lisa Miller, and she blends science and spirituality to show that every one of us is born with a natural capacity for spiritual connection. Regardless of where we come from, what we look like, or how we live, we all share this inner wisdom, the ability to sense meaning, purpose, and connection with something greater. It is a beautiful companion to our theme this month and a reminder of our spiritual nature. So somebody that loves to remind us of our spiritual nature is Reverend Steph St. Amand, and she is going to talk today about embracing the power of vulnerability and connection. So let's please welcome Reverend Steph to the podium.
Hey, loved ones. Here's your daily reminder, your spirit. Oh my gosh. The power of vulnerability. I feel like that's what we've been talking about a lot this year. Are we still learning vulnerability? Yeah. We're still learning it, right? Because if we weren't still learning it, I'd have different talk notes. So, the affirmation I loved that they gave, there's no reference to that book in my talk or in the notes at all. No, there was no reference to that book.
No, there wasn't a book for this month. I just chose.
Oh, you just chose one. So the talk title today is and we're still here. I always have a joke about my wife and I actually. Because when COVID hit, we had just finished selling our house, moving down, putting everything in storage and moving down to the States. And then COVID hit and our work visa did not go through. So we had to come back to Canada, homeless. Thankfully, the money that we sold the house for was in our bank account. So what we ended up doing was buying an RV in a little trailer park like that was fully set up and winterized, and we lived in that for 9 months in a little, like 75 square feet, one bathroom. And the big joke is that we did all of that and we still have our faces. Right? We're still here. We made it through all of that. In fact, it made us closer and stronger because when you have 25 feet to have an argument, you kind of do it like this. Because the neighbors are right outside of the door. And they don't need to know it's not your turn to do laundry again. So I embrace the power of vulnerability and connection. You know, that's what a beautiful opportunity to do a talk like this after just being with 14 people in the 4 agreements. It was absolutely magnificent, and it's a testimony to living in a vulnerable space, being able to share yourself in a classroom, and being open and willing to shift your perspective. That takes vulnerability, and it absolutely takes courage. Absolutely takes courage. So there is courage and bravery Today has been a day of cell phones. Everything's going off today. So Ernest Holmes, he wrote in The Science of Mind, there is one spirit, one mind, one substance, and that one is manifesting in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. It's not absorbed. It's not taking away from something to create more of itself. It is creating of itself and is not absorbing its own creation. So imagine how the world might transform if we truly saw the divine in everyone. Everyone we meet, everyone we come across to, everyone we sit across a table from. Linda Martella Whitsitt, in Divine Audacity, she said something similar, but like this. I am in you, and you are in me. Where you are, there I am. I am sown in all things, and when you gather me, it is you yourself you gather. That has profound meaning to me, because when I am learning how to be vulnerable, I feel like I'm giving pieces of myself away. Every conversation that we have, we're giving a piece of ourselves. Every Sunday, pieces of us remain here in this space as we go out into the world. But when we look at ourselves as divine, and it's from a book called Divine Audacity, so audacity, right? You know what audacity is? It's like living bold and empowered without reservation. It's being audacious in your expression of divinity. Letting it out. Being who you're meant to be. Out in the world, out in conversation, out in the expression. But yet, without this thing called courage, we tend to keep ourselves to ourselves. We don't share the sticky stuff that we are going through, right? If we're still learning boundaries, if we're still learning vulnerability, then we are not sharing all of ourselves. But we can learn how. And it takes practice. It takes courage. It takes courage to stand up on this stage. Deborah, thank you for that reading. It takes courage to get up and share a piece of yourself. So vulnerability, the power of vulnerability lies in our ability to foster genuine connections, promote personal growth, and enhance spiritual and emotional resilience. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open up to others, sharing our true selves, including our fears, our insecurities, and our imperfections, and trusting they will do no harm with them. That's where the bravery comes. Right? Sharing yourself, all of yourself. This authenticity can create deeper, more meaningful relationships, and it encourages others to reciprocate with their own vulnerabilities, their own expressions of insecurity and imperfections. And we see each other and remember we are divine, leading to a mutual understanding and trust, a mutual expression, right? The law of circulation is that we are an inlet and an outlet. There is no beginning and no end. So my inlet and my outlet is receiving your outlet and your inlet. What I give of myself, I give freely, with no strings, no attachments. And vulnerability plays a crucial role in personal and spiritual development. I don't know why I'm looking over here. Nobody's on.
Nobody's there.
Nobody's on Zoom today, you guys, but I'm just habitually making sure I'm inclusive. So when we give ourselves permission to be vulnerable, we are giving everyone permission to be vulnerable. By acknowledging and confronting our stuff and thinking their weaknesses, we can learn from our experiences, become more self-aware, and develop stronger sense of self. It allows us to embrace our humanity, accept our flaws, and strive for improvement without the fear or judgment. Without fear or judgment. When we know ourselves, we create these opportunities to have healthy boundaries. And the more we know about ourselves, the more fulfilling and enriched life we can have, the more vulnerable we are with one another, the more enriched our relationship becomes. And we are not going to grow, evolve, and expand the nature of our own unique, unrepeatable divinity if we are avoiding our experiences. If we are avoiding interactions that make us feel uncomfortable, if we're avoiding hard conversations, if we're avoiding that thing that's been on our to-do list for 17 years, put a check mark next to it or erase it. Don't beat yourself up. Setting boundaries allows us to create a safe space where we can engage in meaningful conversation, deep, meaningful conversation without compromising our safety or our dignity. Yes, people may treat us like doormats, but only if we let them. When we know who we are, when we are empowered and emboldened to audaciously live as our unique and unrepeatable expression, you will never see a doormat. You will never feel like one. So no matter what is coming at you, when you know who you are the power. No one else can make us anything. No one else can make us happy. No one else can make us angry. I know it looks that way. But when that stuff is sitting in us, we are the ones that have the power of mind to shift how we feel about ourselves. I use the breath all the time. This is my biggest tip. People are like, how did you get over 20 years of anxiety? Learn to breathe. This is the first step. Our breath, right here within us, can help us stay present in the moment. This breath, taking this time to circulate in consciousness, this breath. I don't owe anyone an instant expression or response, and neither do you. We can all take a breath before responding to anything that feels uncomfortable or uncertain. We can take a breath, breathing in, breathing out. I'm right here, right now. And all the wisdom is in me. All the wisdom I need to have this conversation is in me right now. And if it's not within me, there's a deep connection to the power that is greater than I am, that will use this mouth, this tongue, these teeth, to express that which needs to be expressed with love and with joy and with peace. Yes, I will have extra 5s, thank you. Any decision, we can be conscious and confident in any decision when we take a moment to be with that decision. We need to learn how to be gentle with ourselves. Oh my gosh. Being gentle with ourselves. You know, the one person who made me the doormat the most was me. Constantly saying, I should be somewhere else by now. I should be doing something else. I should be anybody but me. I did that for years. And I learned how to be gentle with myself. This beautiful phrase of mine, to be perfectly imperfect. That's all we have to be. Like the 4th agreement. Just do the best that you can today. Do the best that you can. No one's asking you to be anything you aren't capable of being. Just the best you can be today. And that changes. Your best changes. Your best shifts and evolves depending on the day. Right? I was asked today, how are you feeling? I'm like, it's been a long week. I'm a little low on the energy today. You can probably tell. Right? Where's that juggling, the hamster juggling monkey mind that is usually doing the talks today? Taking time to process. We think we're supposed to get over things right away, right? Oh, just forgive. That another conversation in class that we had, because Don Miguel Ruiz just kept saying, just use your imagination, just change your mind, just do it. Well, I'll tell you, if it was just that easy, we would all be awake already. We would. Just be awake. Okay. But it's a process, and everything that has a spectrum of life, right? Sometimes the smallest things, like someone ate the last banana, is enough to lose my beep. But I have all the time in the world for my neighbor who's in crisis, right? Brene Brown, she said, vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage. Truth and courage aren't always comfortable, but they're never weakness. She also said, owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing we'll ever do. So celebrate. Look, I just fell down. Look at that. Look, I crawled to the door and I got myself up. Look at that. You have this brilliant possibility inside of you to get up. Fall down 9 times, get up 10. I watched this sketch troupe on YouTube. My stepdaughter showed me them. It's called Smosh. I tithe to them. That's how much joy they bring to my life. And they're just that group of, young people. They're all younger than me for sure. And they're just amazing. They're so funny. And like me, they're a little wild around the edges, a little colorful. They definitely color outside of the lines. And like me, most of them have ADHD. And they're always filming. So there's a camera on them all of the time. And this one young lady named Angela, she is me microdosed. Like she's just like this little firecracker, and she gets so worked up about the littlest thing. Like, no, that was my turn, because they play games on film and get paid. Like, sign me up, right? And so this one shot of her, it's hilarious. She's like just about to just lose it on her co-star. And then it's like, no, I'm okay, I'm an adult, I'm gonna take a breath. And she's like doing this right there. This in control of her mind in a moment where she was about to lose control. Now, if she can do it, we can do it. We can absolutely catch ourselves in the moment and shift our mind, change our outcome, create a new dream, a new possibility of what is possible. And she's so loved. All of these beautiful people are so loved for who they are, exactly who they are, the messy, the mind that is cleaning up. All of it, you can see their love for one another. And it just makes me think about how I want to surround myself with people who accept me for exactly who I am, unconditionally. People who are not trying to change me. Not trying to change me at all, not trying to change me for the better. Oh, if you did it that way. I do know if I did it that way, because I did that way 7 times, but you haven't lived my life, so you don't know what for my betterment is. That's on me. But having this ability to be unconditionally accepted when they see the mess and celebrate the joy, those are our people. Those are the people we surround ourselves with, purposefully, intentionally, consciously. Find those people People who want better for you, want to see you thriving, want to celebrate your wins with you genuinely. Albert Ellis, he said, acceptance is not love. You love a person because he or she has lovable traits, but you accept everybody just because they're alive and human. Can we do that? Can we accept one another exactly as we are right now? Because I will tell you, that will create a world that works for everyone. That will create a brilliant, magnificent community of people thriving for one common goal, to love one another. When we feel resistance to that vulnerability, when we feel resistance to that acceptance, when we feel resistance to shifting our perspectives, we can see it as an invitation or a glorious opportunity for personal development or spiritual evolution. It's an opportunity to lean in, release any urges to argue or defend. I got a great nugget from the last 6 weeks of class. Liz shared an acronym, JADE. I've been using it all over the place. We do not need to justify, argue, defend, or explain. Justify, argue, defend, or explain anything about our personhood. Nothing. And Rumi said, out beyond ideas of wrongdoings and right doings, there's a field. I'll meet you there. So, to operate in this loving presence, to fulfill what is ours to fulfill. What is ours to fulfill? Right? We have each of us a call, just like that, our reading today. Each of us has been called to something. We know it is our call when it brings us to a place of joy and fulfillment. If it looks like work, it's not your calling. Right? It's not your calling. Seeing the presence of love in all that you do. You know, I got out the vision, mission, and purpose statement of this beautiful community right here. So the vision statement that we all worked on together for like 15 months. We aspire to create a community that embraces the interconnectedness of all beings, inspiring a journey of profound spiritual living. That's our vision here. Being able to see one another as divine, and that we are not separate from one another. That's the whole vision that we're here for. So, in this beautiful field of no right doings, no wrongdoings, there's also no competition. There's also no us versus them. There's no mine or yours. There is more than enough for all of us. So we can just pull up a chair and share in that. I'm going to leave you with this one Celtic prayer of approach. That this came into my life over 20 years ago. And so it's longer than any friendship I've had outside of my wife. It goes, I honor your gods. I drink at your well. I bring an undefended heart to our meeting place. I have no cherished outcomes. I will not negotiate by withholding, and I am not subject to disappointment. Living in vulnerability and recognizing the divine acceptance is for everyone. That's a chair I want to pull up to. Thanks for listening.